Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by. Thanks for spending a little time with this old man today. Today's beer, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Tsar, Czar, Tzar. Tsar Czar Tzar. Untapped has it, and it says it's a 2020 is what they have here, but there's no date on this can, so I don't know when it was put in. And it's a 10%er according to what's on there with 45 IBUs. And Untapped and Beer Advocate have it listed at a lot bigger at 11.8%er. So maybe they've done it before. I don't know. That's one reason why we need to have a vintage on it, so you know what edition you're having. But I don't know. Maybe it's not a 2020. Maybe it's a 2021. I don't know. Maybe it's a 2019 without the date. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, guys. These guys are based in Virginia. This is a Russian Imperial Stout, but it is a 10%er. I couldn't find any vintage or dating on it, so it is what it is here, guys. Says here the RIS, which is Russian Imperial Stout, is a nod to those high-gravity stouts first brewed in the English in the 19th century for Peter the Great and his court. The bold flavors and high alcohol content of an Imperial Stout allowed this beer to make the long journey to Russia without spoiling, and quickly became a favorite of the Russian Empire. It is loaded with flavors and aromas of chocolate, coffee, and dried fruit, with just enough residual sweetness to balance out the high ABV. Not super high, 10%, decent, but there's a lot bigger beers than this out there, guys. A whole lot bigger beers. So, anyway, we do have the IBUs and the ABV, but that's it. That's all we have. So, with that being said, big 16-ounce plain Jane can with a stick-on label. It says Pale Ale, Munich Crystal Chocolate, Roasted Barley, Carafa 3 Special. And the hops it says is Hornendal Quebec. Never heard of them. Tomahawk. So, giving us a lot of information except for when they put it in the damn can. So, I don't imagine that. Anyway, it's what it is. It's not like it's going to go bad, but like I said, Beer Advocate and Untapped both has it 11.8%, and it's not that big. Into the glass we go. We'll do a little aggressive pour since it's a 10%er. And it seems to be decently carbonated already. I mean, we've got a good finger and a half head on that pour already, so let me back off on that just a hair. A little late for that now, though, because we got probably 3 fingers of head in the glass now. It is pretty dark. It's a pretty traditional looking stout. It's pitch black. Not any light coming through it. So off white khaki colored head to it. Typical stout looking beer, but it is a little heavier carbonated than a lot of the stouts are that are 10% or bigger. So just be careful pouring this one. It seems to be a little well carbonated. So, but it still looks good. What do you think? To the nose we go. Rich roasted malt, hints of caramel and toffee, black molasses. Maybe a hint of some cocoa or chocolate. Maybe even some dark fruit in there. The roasted malt and the slight hint of chocolate is standing out more than anything else to me. Smells good. Let's find out. Cheers. Nice creamy head on top of it. And the bubbles, there's some bigger bubbles on it, but it's consistently pretty tight. So that might leave some nice lacing on the glass. I'm getting a little hint of coffee in the taste too. That's a pleasant beer. That's a pleasant beer. Could possibly be something that I would purchase again if it had some kind of vintage or date, so I know what year they put it in the can. Especially since Beer Advocate and Untapped both have it at 11.8% and it's only at 10, so I don't know what year it is. I mean, how old it is, guys. That is, I mean, that's a very enjoyable final beer of the evening for what it is for me. Very tasty. That is a tasty stout. Very much into the Russian Imperial Stout variations of this beer. Not bourbon barrel version or anything like that, but a nice palette of roasted malt, chocolate, a little bit of black molasses, and slight hint of coffee. Very nice. Let me do the back end pour here, guys. Get it all in the glass if I can. I mean, that head, it's very, very well carbonated for a 10%er. That's a good looking glass of beer, isn't it? A full glass with the head. So a little more carbonated than a lot of the 10% and bigger stouts are. So, which, like I said, should leave some nice spacing as I sip on it and let it come up to room temperature. So let's do that, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sitting up for quite a while now, well over an hour. It's up to room temperature. Tasty beer, guys. I mean, we've had a few tasty beers in a row here, guys. Nothing outstanding in my opinion. Nothing that's blowing my hair back or my socks off, but all tasty beers, well-made beers. The only plus I got about this one is not having a vintage or some kind of dating on it, not knowing what year it was put in there, especially since Beer Advocate and Untapped both has it at a different ABV. And they have, Untapped has it at the 2020 edition, which I was assuming this one was, but I'm not sure. I mean, this is a 10%er, not 11.8%, so I don't have any idea how old this beer is, guys. And being a big Imperial Stout, it's really not that critical as far as the beer going bad, but I would like to know how old the beer that I'm drinking in case I want to do a side-by-side from different years or stuff like that, or different ABVs. So, they're putting a lot of information on the label that they put on this can, but they are lackluster in the vintage or dating on it, and that's the only plus I've got about it. This is a very tasty beer, guys, and I would probably buy it again if they will put a vintage or date on the can so I know how old the beer I'm buying. And I don't care what style it is, I want to know that. Even a beer like this that's going to keep 10, 20 years, I want to know when it was put in the can so I can tell in case I want to do year to year, batch to batch, or whatever. That's just me, though. That's just me. I have an OCD for that. No matter what style of beer it is, give me that information. What can I say? Date Nazi. Final joke. And I'm still, now that I've been sipping on for an hour or more, I'm getting the roasted malt, I'm getting hints of chocolate and coffee. Very nice. Final chug. I personally think the alcohol is well hidden. And if you want a bourbon barrel version of it, I've told you this, guys. Throw your little bourbon in there, and there you go. It's an A beer to me. I'm going to give it an A- since it doesn't have a date or a vintage on it. If it had that, I'd probably give it a couple of more notches up. It may even get to the solid A category, but it does not. And especially with the information I'm getting from Untapped and Beer Advocate on it. I don't know how old the beer I'm drinking. It may be a 2019 or 2018 or 2017. I don't have any idea, guys. I don't know how old it is. So, with that being said, Beer Advocate, I don't think has any scores on it. Nope. And Untapped has 43 people that commented on the 2020 version, they say, which is an 11.8%. So that makes me think this one is an older beer than that 2020. Or a 2021, maybe it's a fresher beer than a 2020. So I don't know. That's why I want to know that. I want to know that. Put that on there. Tell me it's a 2020, 2021, 2019, 2018. If you don't want to put the month and the day on there, at least give me the year so I know what I have here. So with that being said, A- for me, 90. And Untapped has it at 3.98, which is in their B+. I'm giving it a better score than they are, even though I don't have that information. So it was a tasty beer, guys. And if I would buy it again if they put a vintage on it, or a month and a day in a year. It doesn't have to have the month and a day. Just give me the vintage. Tell me what year it was put in the package. Is that too hard to ask? Put it on it somewhere. So anyway, y'all guys know, anybody's been following for any length of time, know how I feel about dating the beers. I don't care what style it is. Put the date on it. If you can't do that, get out of the beer business. I won't buy this again unless it has a date on it. So, if you've had whatever how you pronounce this, Tsar Czar Tzar, T-S-A-R, C-Z-A-R, T-Z-A-R, from Tradition Brewing Company, let me know what you think. It was a tasty beer. Date the damn shit. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.